How's it going, everybody? Mike Weber here, your Los Angeles real estate broker. And today we are going to take a look at the data that is now tabulated for the month end of September, coming out of Redfin and also maybe the California Association of Realtors. And before we do that, real quick, we will also take a look at interest rates and talk about how that is impacting the real estate market right now. And let me just get this out of the way. If you need help with real estate here in Los Angeles County or Orange County, buying or selling or anything like that, reach out to me. My contact information is down below and it's much appreciated. And also, if you could do me a small favor, leave some comments down below. Let me know what you're seeing in your area. Make sure to like and subscribe. It certainly supports the channel and helps this video, and I appreciate it very much. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I want to show you here is that interest rates in September did drop off pretty substantially, and then they rose a fair bit into, around the mid sixes or 6.35% or so. And then they've dropped off again rather substantially and are back here at around 6.17% or somewhere thereabouts. So similar to this decline that we saw in September. Now, I am actually seeing it out there in the market, just this slightly lower rates that we've experienced over, these last several months since the beginning of the year, where rates were as high as 7.25 down to, roughly 6.25 or less than 6.25. That change in interest rates is definitely helping the real estate market. We're seeing a lot more activity, a lot more buyers out there, and the market is certainly heating up. Now, I have mentioned before on this channel that I'm not sure how sustainable these low rates are going to be. And I think we could end up seeing a very strange scenario where interest rates start moving back up again here in the near future, but we'll have to see how that plays out. But either way, certainly the lower rates are pushing the housing market up now again. It's taking inventory off the market. It's getting people more engaged and out there buying homes. And that's exactly what we're going to see in the data. If we take a look here at the Redfin housing market report, we see that in the month of September, the home prices rose 2.2% year over year all of a sudden. At the same time, the number of homes sold rose 9%. And the number of homes for sale rose 2.5%. So a slight increase in the number of homes for sale, but a huge increase in the number of homes sold and a pretty decent increase in the home prices for the state of California. And here they dive in a little bit more detail. In September 2025, home prices were up 2.2% compared to the previous year, selling for a median price of $832,800. On average, the number of homes sold was up 9% year over year, and the median days on market was 47 days, up 11 year over year. So it's still taking longer to get a home sold. There's still a reasonable amount of inventory out there, but certainly the nicer properties or the properties that are priced effectively, that have a solid agent that knows what they're doing, that's communicating well, are actually selling in this market in most areas throughout California. And here we'll take a look at the top 10 metros in California with fastest growing sales prices. And interestingly, several of these are in my local market where I sell real estate: Santa Monica, Redondo Beach, Rancho Palos Verdes, and then of course several other that are actually here in Southern California as well. So we're certainly seeing the market heat up here in SoCal and of course in other parts of the state as well. Now, taking a look at the housing supply, we see in September 2025, there were 104,706 homes for sale. That is up 2.5% year over year. So not a lot of growth in the number of homes for sale. And the month supply here is at 3 months, which is still relatively high, but of course, nothing out of control or out of hand. And obviously, if the rates continue to go down, we're probably going to see a lot of that supply getting taken off the market. And the last thing we'll take a look at here on this Redfin report is this California housing demand. And they're saying in September 2025, 33.2% of homes sold above list price, down 8 points year over year. So less homes are selling above list price. Of course, that's probably because sellers are still continuing to price homes too high for the market. And the last thing we'll look at here is the 10 areas people are moving from. We have Los Angeles as the number 1 metro with the net outflows, then New York, Washington, San Francisco, Seattle, Chicago, Boston, Philadelphia, Houston, and Atlanta. And then, of course, here's the list of the net inflows, the largest net inflows across the country, Sacramento being the only one in California where we're seeing a lot of inflows. Now, moving on, let's take a quick peek at the information coming out of the California Association of Realtors, and I will go ahead and link this information down below as well if you want to take a look at it. So looking here at their overall California housing market snapshot, we're seeing similar results as to what we saw on the Redfin data. Existing home sales are up 0.4% year to date and 6.6% year to year. And of course, this is directly related, in my view, to the lower interest rates that we experienced throughout September. And also the median sales price they're showing is up 1.8% year to year. So again, consistent with the other data out of Redfin. They're showing the unsold inventory or the inventory levels at 3.6 months with no change year to year. So a little bit different, a little bit higher than what we saw out of the Redfin data. And finally, the median days on market, they're showing 32 days, which is 33.3% increase year to year. So it's definitely taking, in terms of the median number, a lot longer to get a home sold. Obviously, it's always going to depend on the price that you set, the condition of the property, the quality, knowledge, and skills of the agent that you hired to get the property sold, and so on. And of course, the market that you're in on top of that as well. So next, we'll take a quick look at this home sales growth by region. And what you see here is pretty much all California regions had very strong sales growth in September, obviously as a result of the lower interest rates. Here's just some sales by price data, which shows you where the sales are actually taking place. Obviously, we're seeing a lot of sales here in this kind of middle zone, $4 to $499 on this one, and $500 to $999 on this one. As we'll see shortly, we're seeing strong growth in sales on condos because obviously a lot more people can afford those versus a single family home. As you can see here, pending sales for condos, townhomes outpace single family homes, and that's to be expected. And here, California median home price slipped to a 7-month low, but remains positive year over year, and we could see that same 1.8% year to year there. Now, interestingly, condo and townhome median prices are still dropping year over year for the 6th straight month. In 2024, they were $660 the median, and now it's $650,000, so a 10% decline there. So that's really the main gist of what's going on in the California market. Obviously, the rates coming down substantially throughout the year, and then even more substantially last month in September, really lit a fire under the housing market. I think as long as rates continue to stay low, we are going to see a lot of competition out there. Now, if you're a buyer that's been sitting on the sidelines, this may be your opportunity to lock in a lower rate and get something before the competition really heats up and takes off again. And we're just getting started. I mean, if rates start going back down into that 4 or 5% range, you better bet there's going to be a lot of people out there trying to buy a home, and prices are probably going to rise. So guys, I hope this information is useful. Again, leave comments down below. Let me know what you're seeing in your area. Make sure to share, like, and subscribe. I appreciate you guys watching as always, and I'll see you next time on the next video. Take care.